Hey there, and welcome to Cruise Basics. Today, we'll be talking about the cruise industry and what's normal for 2021. Coming up, stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to Cruise Basics. I'm Sean, your host, and today we want to talk about the normalcy of cruising in 2021. Is it going to be the same? No. What are we waiting for? What is it taking so long for? Why is it taking so long? And what's going to be different once we get on board? So that's what we have to look for today. Let's figure that out. So the worldwide suspension is still going on, and what we're looking at is some have opened up and said, yeah, you can bring your cruise ships. Some have not. So what they're doing is that they're trying to find out which cruise ports are going to be open, which cruise ports are allowing a certain amount of passengers in. So, if you're on the Oasis of the Seas that holds 6,000 and the Bahamas says, oh, you can only have 2,000, that's what they're up against. Also, too, other ports around the world are starting to shut down again. Some stay open, but we don't know what that entails until later on. But we're looking at some might still be closed for several months. We just are not sure. So the cruise lines are doing their best, trying to figure out what the best option is, where to sell out of the U.S. So you're going to be looking at normally those shorter cruises, especially to their private islands. Like Royal Caribbean's already stated that they want to start with the shorter cruises with like the Mariner of the Seas and the Navigator of the Seas and going out to Coco Cay and back. So that's a start in the right direction. But we'll just have to wait to see if they'll add the Bahamas in there as well in Nassau. I did a video on Nassau, and it is open, so you can fly there. It's just cruise ships aren't going there yet because they still have to do their certification from the CDC. So we just have to wait. So what's going to be normal on the ship? Well, you're going to have your shows. You're going to have the casino. Everything's going to stay the same. The only difference would be is that the buffet would turn into like a cafeteria style seating instead of you going to get your food. Just like a cafeteria, you run down a line, say I want that, that, and that, and you would get that, and then you would take it back to your table. And of course they're gonna limit the space in that area as well. It's not gonna be jam-packed like the first day of the cruise when you get on board and you're trying to find a seat because you want lunch, because you've been starving yourself, because you want to have that buffet when you get on board because you're hungry. So it's gonna be a little different that way as well. And then, of course, like the theater and everything else, they're going to have a limited amount of people in there. So they might do two shows instead of, they might do three shows instead of two shows, that early show, that late show. And then, of course, they're going to do that social distancing inside of the theater as well. Now, these are just my opinions. I've been a travel agent for 12 years and more, and I've been on several cruises, and I've just noticed, when you're looking at certain things and remembering certain things when you are on a cruise ship, how busy and how jam-packed it was. Those things are the things that they're working on, When I first started cruising, checking in was a nightmare just to get on the ship. And then, when you're on the ship, you still have your luggage. The room's not ready if you got on, say at 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, you still have your carry-on with you. So, that makes it a little bit bigger of a cluster when you're walking around on board between the buffet and trying to find a seat. Then you're out in the pool deck. So, they're going to limit that as well, where I think, just my opinion, they're going to be doing it in waves, letting people on, trying to turn those rooms. Also, too, I'm thinking like certain sections of the ship, like they have like a pool, like the pool area, like all day it's busy, like on a sea day. At night, it might be shut down where you can't walk through because they're sanitizing the chairs, they're sanitizing the bar area. That it could be like that in the cafeteria as well. So let's go back a little bit in history here and see what the difference is real quick. So let's not like freak out about all the new normal stuff per se. Let's talk about back in the day when I started cruising. On a short cruise, a 3 or 4 night, you had one formal night, and then you had in the dining room, and then you had, the rest were business casual. Now let's jump to today. Today, and look at what they do now. It's optional. So when you go to the dining room, some people might be in formal wear, some people may not be. You have to recognize that the cruise line is always changing and evolving to the needs of the guest. You have those older people that that like that traditional cruising with the the dress code. Of course they don't let you wear shorts and stuff like that, but they're changing and it's always evolving. So we just have to be patient. We want to go cruising, we want to have a vacation, and we just have to adapt. Just think of it a chameleon, adapts to its surroundings. So we got to be sort of like that, where we don't have to worry. So the first one, number one, is face masks. We're gonna have to wear them. We're gonna have to get used to it for at least another 6 months or less. It's we go to the grocery store, we go anywhere, we have to wear them. I've been to Universal and Disney because I live in Central Florida. We have to wear them even when we go there, and I always have to bring a couple of them because it's hot in Florida, so you sweat, so you have to replace them or else it just gets gross. Number two, temperature checks are going to be happening. I know that you want to go on a cruise. I've have people that I talk to that I don't care if my leg is broken, I'm going on my cruise. Yeah, but if you're running a fever, they're going to send you home. So just keep that in mind, especially when you're booking a cruise. There are travel insurances out there. The cruise lines, I don't know how they're going to work it. If they're going to be like, you knew you had a temperature, you can't go, so we keep your money. I don't think that's the case, but you never know. So just keep that in mind. Also, too, number three, they're going to make you fill out that affidavit. Normally it was the affidavit, have you felt feverish, vomiting, diarrhea, all that stuff. Because they don't want to bring a virus on board. I think it's going to be a little bit more on that affidavit than just that simple stuff where you just sign it and be done with it. That's just my opinion as well. COVID testing, they're going to be doing that. I don't know how they're going to work it. I've heard different things where you have to have it done 5 days before. I've heard 2 days before. I've heard the day of when you get on board. I've heard that you might have to take it not on these short cruises, but say on these 7 to 14 nights, you might have to take it in the middle of your cruise as well, because they are making their sick bays, their medical bays bigger, and have more personnel as well. So, they're trying. There's certain things that the CDC is asking them to do to get certified, so we'll just have to wait to see how that works. Of course, like I said about the buffets, I think it's going to be more of a cafeteria style. The pool area, of course, they're going to have that social distancing in there. Everything's going to be social distancing. I have to imagine that it's going to be 50% full. So, if you're on the Mariner or the Seas, think of it as if you ran down in the middle of the night and it was kind of like hit or miss when you run into people. I think it's going to be something like that. It's going to feel somewhat like a ghost town or a ghost ship. So we'll just have to wait to see what they're going to do with the amount of passengers. Like I said, I would want to say 50%, but we'll just have to wait and see on that. So, to close this out and my final thoughts, Cruising is going to be a little bit different when they first start. It could be January, February, March. Who knows when they're going to start up, when they're going to get those certifications. But we'll just, it's going to be different. We're going to have to adapt. I don't mind adapting just because I want to go cruising. I haven't been on a cruise since last December, and it's almost been a year. And I normally take 2 or 3 cruises a year. So I got the itch, just like a lot of other people out there that I've been reading on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. Everybody's getting the itch to go. So hang in there. We're going to make it. And until next time, take care, and I'll see you later.